Hey guys, MaliciousCompliance here, and today I am back for episode number 22 of r/MaliciousCompliance. The series that is so unedited that a disruption from WinZip is not going to stop it. Go and see the last episode in the iCard top right to see what happened last episode. But today I have found two stories and an image-based one. So let's get into them. Beginner dude gets arrested because he thinks a woman can't fix computers. Yep, here we go. Long time reader and first time poster. I don't even know if it goes here, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Back in 2006, I worked for one of those big box stores that had an IT desk, formerly known as Nerdherd, lol, where people could bring devices in to get serviced if there was a problem. We were located in Columbus. I don't know America that well, so I'll just go with Columbus, which is right over a bridge from Phoenix City. This is important because where our store was placed, we would normally get a lot of servicemen and women coming up from Fort Benning, who were genuinely pretty cool. But we would also get folks, mostly from Alabama, sweet home man. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Who were, let's just say, slightly unfavorable to folks of a certain skin color or gender. No offense to those who live in Alabama, who are totally awesome. That is Alabama, right? You know who you are. Now, I'm a 5'1" girl who, at the time, weighed a total of 120 pounds soaking wet. Why do you need to specify wetness in this one? I was practically a hobbit. I was also one of the lead technicians in the department. I was one of the new hires. The new hires went to if they were confused or couldn't troubleshoot certain problems. The team I worked with was amazing. The general manager of the store was great, and the supervisor of my department was the man. I would regularly go out with drinks with these people. One of the best places I've ever worked, even though it was retail. One day I'm working the counter to check customers in and do evaluations and diagnostics to give an estimate of what the repair price could be. In comes, let's call him Joe. He wore a cut-off t-shirt, denim jeans, and a baseball cap with a Confederate flag on it that just barely covered his business in the front, party in the back, haircut. Okay. The way you worded that just made it sound a bit wrong. But I get the song reference. I am not one to judge on looks. I've had plenty of people come in looking exactly the same way this guy did, who have been an absolute delight to work with. Never judge a book by its cover, kids, but I still have my defenses up just in case. I really hoped it wasn't going to go the not so friendly route. I was unfortunately wrong about dear Joe. Oh no. Joe walks up to the counter with his PC tower and practically slams the unit on the desk. I need this fixed. It's broken. Okay, sir, let me have a look and I'll see if I can. Joe cuts me off and stares at me with a disgusted look on his face. Excuse me? If you give me a moment, sir, I'll be able to take a look at your computer. Oh, hell no! It was at this point that I realized where this was inevitably going to go wrong. Unfortunately, sir, I won't be able to give you an estimate if you don't let me diagnose your computer. There is no way in hell a woman knows about computers. I'm not letting you touch my computer. Get me the manager. Oh, yes, I thought. This is going to be fucking awesome. I'm sure he wanted to talk to the general manager of the store, but I couldn't resist. Cue malicious compliance. I could have pulled the I'm the manager thing because I was one of the senior staff, but my direct boss was actually out back working on repair project and I couldn't help but get excited about how this was going to go down. As lovely as sweet tea. Of course, sir. Right away, sir. Mike, my supervisor, the guy who ran our department and not the general manager of the store, was elbow deep in the motherboard replacement when I walked in and gave him the biggest shit-eating grin. Hey, Mike, there's a guy out there asking for the manager. He looks at me confused because he's just supervisor, but then I proceed to tell him exactly what was waiting for him out front. His face lit into the brightest smile, and then he proceeded to walk out to the front. Have I mentioned that Mike is a 6'3", 280-pound black man who looked like he could eat a Mack truck for lunch? He was such a big, lovable teddy bear. We all adored him. The moment Mike stepped out, the customer freaked. Hello, sir. I hear there's a problem. Joe lost it. It started with a fuck no before devolving into a racist tirade that I have never witnessed in my life. I'm from Massachusetts. I cannot say that word. So this was awful, yet amazing to watch. Like a car crash. I just couldn't look away. Not that we have no racism in the Northeast, but damn. Joe kept screaming, using the nastiest slur. You know the one. Over and over again, while staff and customers alike watched in blatant horror. Security ended up having to come over to try to calm the man down. Our entire security team was black as well. So naturally, Joe went even more crazy. Whoa, we got big brain on the craziness. Eventually, the police had to be called because the man was threatening me, calling me a cunt and a bitch. And the threatening security and my boss, using the word that is not okay. Nope. I will not say that word. There's a line. I'm not gonna cross that one. My general manager got called out of his office and immediately called the police to have the man removed. God bless whichever dispatcher who received the call was, because they dispatched 2 black officers to the scene. Me and my general manager, were literally the only white people involved in this train wreck, aside from Bigger Than Joe. And I watched the unbridled glee as Joe was cuffed and taken away by the police. Watching Joe foam at the mouth as he was dragged away made my whole week. Thank you for the entertainment, Bigger Than Joe. Thanks to all of you telling me about Chuck. Now I'm up at 5 a.m. Oh my god, that's the wildest racism I've ever witnessed. Holy fuck. It wasn't even racism, it was sexism as well. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh, that is more than I bargained for. Mr. Very Important doesn't want any AC on him in the middle of summer. Okay, let's go. I work in building operations for some high-rise office buildings in sunny Southern California. I maintain electrical systems, plumbing, HAV. Basically anything within the building I fix. My background is HVAC, with plenty of certifications and experience in how things work. The building I'm currently at has covers on the thermostats to prevent tenants from messing with them. Side note, HVAC system is a pneumatic system that uses air pressure to operate everything. You need a specialty gauge to check what the pneumatic signal is calling for: heating, cooling, or nothing. This is why we don't let tenants adjust their own stats, because without the gauge, you're only guessing what you're doing. Anyways, Mr. Very Important puts in a call saying he is way too cold. No problem. I go up and find his thermostat has had the cover pried off and set to 68 degrees, and then half put back on. I check my gauge and it's operating properly for being set at 68. I adjusted it back up to 72, which is standard temperature, and let Mr. Very Important know someone had messed with the thermostat, and that's why he was so cold. Halfway through telling him, he cuts me off and says, I don't care about the thermostat. I want these vents shut down. I don't want to feel any air. Ooh, this guy wants to die. I tried to explain it will be a lot more comfortable in a few minutes, and shutting the vents is not a good idea in the summer. Well, Mr. Very Important wasn't having it. After all, he's very important and knows better than me how comfort cooling works despite my decade-plus experience. And to top it off, he's an absolute cunt about the whole thing. After being cut off for the third time, I finally had enough and say, okay, no problem. You want the vents completely shut? And he responds, yes, if I feel any air blow on me, we're going to have issues that your boss will have to sort out. So I shut the vents completely at the damper AC box. No air will come out. Well, I've dealt with very important people before, and I know what to expect. So I put a note on my work order. Mr. Very Important asked for no air to come out of the vents in his office despite my objections. So vents have been shut per tenant request. If you're aware, the East Coast is going through a gnarly heat wave right now. So naturally, Mr. Very Important puts in a call office is too hot. I accept the call, but I got on my way doing my normal duties, which I'm very busy with, as we just had one of 4 people on our team leave. So it takes me 3 days to get back to Mr. Very Important's office, and he's losing the shit at how hot it is. To be fair, his office was like a sauna. I'd be pissed too if I had to work in that office. I asked if he wants his vents opened back up to allow the air to flow into his office and cool it down. Dude looks like I just kicked his dog when he realizes closing the vents was his demand that I tried to talk him out of. I open it up real quick because it's very easy and I leave. Apparently he didn't like being called out like that and called my property managers to complain. I'm not sure what they said back to him, but I certainly got a good laugh out of the whole thing. I'm more important than you. So turn my vents off. So I basically cook. It's like, I want to be a chicken roast now. And we're going to finish off with an image. Just add subtitles. Something in Chinese. I don't know what. I'm just... Yeah. Oh, this is just the best day ever. Something in Chinese. I don't know what. I'm just... Oh, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. That's just perfect. He doesn't, like... Yeah. Something in I keep reading it and it just makes me laugh again and again. It's just so fucking perfect. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do one last one. If you need to pee more than twice a day, you need a doctor's note. Okay, sure. Ending it on pee, always a good note. Cleaning up my home office today and stumbled across paperwork that I had saved, for whatever reason, from a shitty call center I worked at 15 years ago. This was an outbound sales thing, and it was non-stop calls all day. Needless to say, the job sucked. With the constant talking, though your voice would start cracking throughout the day if you didn't hydrate. So I'd bring jugs of water to sip on all day long. This of course meant frequent trips to the restroom. I never abused these trips, and they were always 3 minutes or less. But of course, this wasn't good enough for management. Oh no. One day my manager demanded I get a doctor's note if I wanted to pee at any time, other than one of my 2 regularly scheduled breaks. I could tell she was convinced I would not do it. I scheduled the appointment and filled the doctor in who thought it was hilarious that this manager either 1, didn't understand biology, or 2, was on a huge power trip. He revived me with the most condescending doctor's note ever. Needless to say, my co-workers... Needless to say, she was not happy. My co-workers, though, all made trips to the same doctor and got similar notes. Pretty sure I wore a shit-eating grin every time I walked to the bathroom after that. Let's see it. To whom it may concern, this letter concerns my patient. Requires a lot of fluid intake while talking on the phone in order to avoid drying out and becoming hoarse. When he drinks this much fluid, he must urinate every 60 to 90 minutes. Please excuse these brief visits to the bathroom as they are unavoidable. Sincerely, Greg Luckginger, MD. Oh yeah, this is Luxinger. That is just funny. That is just... Like, I don't know what this lady expected, but she got exactly what she expected. She's like, I need to take a piss. I need to take a piss. It comes back 3 minutes later. It just like gets back to this. 1 hour later, 1 hour later. Gotta go again. It just keeps happening every hour on the hour. This comment. Imagine being that doctor. I am getting paid to write notes so people can piss when they need to. I'm glad I went to medical school. That's just funny. It's like, I need to poo. Anyways, links will be in the description to my main channel and my second channel. Don't forget to... Oh, and also links on the screen, playlist, and last video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. A ding, ding. I'm Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist, out.